The UK government has put a damper on hopes for an uplift to its high-end TV tax credit, responding with caution rather than action to demands made by the influential Culture, Media and Sport Committee earlier this year. One of the committee's key proposals: boost the current 25% tax rebate specifically for shows costing between £1 million and £3 million per hour, budgets that represent the lifeblood of quality drama. They even called on the British Film Institute for urgent analysis. But today's response, far from urgent. Instead, the government emphasised a broad balancing act, assessing tax reliefs based not only on industry impact but also on public spending across the entire creative economy. The Chancellor, the report states, makes decisions on tax policy at fiscal events in the context of the wider public finances. In simpler terms, no promises and no changes for now. The government also dismissed the idea of requiring TV productions to report their spending across the UK's regions, saying that such extra requirements could threaten one of the system's biggest strengths, its simplicity. Culture Minister Chris Bryant had already hinted at this last week, calling the UK's current rebate very competitive with the rest of the world. It seems the official line is now clear. Also off the table, a 25% tax relief for print and advertising costs on indie films, claiming the new 40% credit, a measure the CMSC hoped would fuel more domestic storytelling. And while the scripted TV sector faces what the BBC calls a funding crisis, with US buyers pulling back, the government's tone remains conservative. However, there is one notable closure: the long-debated idea of a streaming levy. Officially dead. The government says such a move wouldn't align with its vision of supporting a mixed ecology. Still, it promises to stay engaged with major streaming services, public broadcasters and indie producers alike. Meanwhile, on the issue of bullying and harassment in the industry, there's little movement. Despite Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy's strong support for CIISA, the new independent body formed to tackle abuse in film and TV, there are no signs the government will force companies to contribute funding. "We're not looking to place additional burdens on businesses," the statement reads, adding that mandatory funding could scare off investors and hurt smaller firms. So, with reforms sidelined and questions lingering, the future of the UK's creative industries remains uncertain. Subscribe to our channel to stay informed on the latest in entertainment, industry updates, and exclusive insights. Let me know if you want.